Hey guys, it's Joe, the 50 something Dasher, with another daily recap video. This one is for Wednesday, November 29th. Um, it's kind of hard to put a grade on today's dash. I don't know if I was to give it come up with a letter grade. Uh, Shoot. I'd get it's probably like either maybe like I would say probably a B minus is what I would say. It was okay. Uh and it was Today seemed a little bit more faster paced, busier than yesterday. It's a little bit colder today, and kind of the way today played out is kind of how I thought yesterday would be. But yesterday wasn't as hectic. Today was. So, starting out here with the first order, I waited a little while. Let me pull back up here the dash and see what time I logged in. I logged in at 6:40, so I sat here at the computer for what is that, 36 minutes before getting an order. And so I went ahead and took this order. It's kind of funny. This was ended up being three Long John donuts. is is what this order was. So, um, but hey, whatever, whatever these customers want to order. Uh, then I got then a decline. This doesn't look to be downtown, but too close for me, especially at this time of the morning here. And this is just not an order that I would have taken. I mean, it would have had to been over like $2 a mile for me to take this order at this time. If this would have been a $16 payout, I would have taken that. But that was a decline as it stood. I took this order, this $5.50 Burger King, only 2 miles. You see, the customer was pretty close to the restaurant, so went ahead and then on my way to that, DoorDash stacked it with a Tim Hortons for only an additional 1.64 dollars. So I went ahead and accepted that. Don't really have there wasn't anything to mention, anything interesting at all about those pickups or drop offs. So moving right along here in the dash, I took this 755 miles, just another kind of just run of the mill type of order. Um, get to my first double digit order of the day. So $15 for 10 miles, nine items. I took this even though it was going south here off of 104. I went ahead and took this. And it wasn't bad. I got the next screenshot here is some of the shopping list. There's, almost half of the order was Pedialyte. I think they only had like two of these four, and then the other two had to be substituted. You see the cheese here. There was also might have been like a case of water, I think, and I can't remember the other items, but it wasn't a hard shop, and it just the long drive across zone to deliver that. Um, and I took a screenshot here of the pay. So you see $8 from DoorDash, $7 customer tip. So I'll take it. And $38 at 9 o'clock. That's not bad. That's a pretty good spot to be in. I'd say anything less than 30 would be a little bit of a concern, but I was in a fairly good shape at this point. Then we get a decline. I had just done that long drive on that previous order, and this one is just barely meets the dollar per mile, and but it's going clear out east, and I'd have to, and it's kind of doubtful at this time that once I got out there that I would get another order. So you're probably looking at deadhead miles back, and um, I, I just, even though it was only 5 items, I just didn't want to, like I said, I just come off a long drive. I didn't want to go back out on another one, so decline. Then we get to the subject of my today's video, what's going to be the title of the video, the back-to-back triples. So, when you get back-to-back triples, then it must be winter time. It must be cold outside. So here's the first triple. I get this 425 5 mile Tim Hortons. Not a great order, but I took it because it was all in zone. Whatever. So that you see here, that came almost immediately after the previous offer. So while I was on the way there, they stack it with a Taco Bell, 550, only an additional, you might as well say half a mile. So now this ends up being being pretty decent. So you're talking almost $10 for 5.5 miles. So, and these two restaurants are close together. So now, because of the stack, it ends up being a lot better offer. So I get to the Taco Bell and I'm waiting on the first order when they stack it with a third order and a second Taco Bell for an additional 4.8. So this isn't a good, triple stack here. And you see the new customer is clear out way away from everybody else. So everything else in this triple, 5 of the stops is all taking place right up here. And then you got one of the 6 stops is clear down south. So, but I took it, I don't know, just to do a triple maybe. I don't know. And it looks like I didn't take any further screenshots on this, but so the first Taco Bell order, I didn't wait too long for that. I took that out to the car and I come back and waited a minute or so, and then they say, "Can you call the customer?" Because I think they ordered like some kind of rolled chicken, a rolled taco, or rolled something, whatever it was called. We don't have those. So see if they want a substitute. So I get on the phone with the customer, and I don't like doing this with orders that I may be dropping. Well, let me just finish the story first. So I call the customer, and they just, after a minute or so of contemplating, they decide on a chicken quesadilla. Okay, so there's a substitution. And then within like seconds after I hang up the phone, DoorDash gives me the prompt to drop that third order. And because of the distance and everything, and I already had the 2 that I wasn't going to have to drive that far for, and $10 or whatever, I really don't need this other 6 and the extra mileage going way down south. So I went ahead and dropped it. So what I was about to say earlier was this is kind of why I don't like, especially on stacked orders, I don't like to do too much communication with the customers um, in situations where it's an order that may be dropped because you know they get the message that I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable with that. I've seen one other gig tuber I watched one time, he would send messages out to the customer, hey, I'm so and so your dasher, your one order on multiple orders that I have right now. I'll do the best to get your order in the best possible time, yada, 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 yada. And they always talk about the good communication and all this and that. And it's good for customer relations, whatever, all this and that. But the thing about it is I just don't like being the person that the customer sees as working on the order, and then hearing from that person, and then boom, all of a sudden I drop the order for whatever reason, now there's somebody else on it. They were communicating with one person and then now somebody else is on it. So I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I would just think from the customer standpoint this would be like a really aggravating situation. So that's why, as best I can, I try to kind of limit that contact, whether that's good or bad. And I could be wrong about this, but I think I've gotten negative ratings from orders that I've dropped, or like a situation like this. Can a customer do that? I don't know for sure, but I think I have, and I feel like I have. Whether I actually did or not, I don't know, because I've talked about it before. I've only called DoorDash to 100% verify one of my negative ratings. So I don't know for sure. But anyway, I dropped that and then just real quickly went about my business on the other two orders. And then almost immediately after I dropped off the second order, I get this like right away, a $15 Meyer. It is 21 items, but only 7 miles. So I went ahead and took this and hoping maybe there'd be some multiples. Now, if I wouldn't have dropped that $6 order and I would have been tied up for an extra, I probably would have been tied up an extra 15, 20 minutes anyway. By the time it took me to get down there, drop that off, start making my way back, I'm sure I probably wouldn't have got this order. So it ended up in this situation working out good. And then when I was inside the Meyer, you can see here the time. I mean, I only got to the Meyer and shopped for like 3 or 4 items when they stack a second order for an additional only 3.4 miles. You see here, here's the first customer, and second customer just 3 miles further out. Um, so for 12.25, so that's 17.25 for 10 miles. So yeah. Um, and I don't have a screenshot of any of the shopping lists, but the first order was more like a general like grocery shopping list. So there was some water in it, some pop, and some stuff from produce and meat and seasonings, taco shells. I mean, it's just a typical like grocery order. The second order, this 6 items, most of it was in one aisle. It was well, first from there was like 2 things of vinegar, and then most of the rest of the stuff came from a cleaning aisle. There was like some liquid plunger, detergent, dryer sheets. Um, and then just one other thing the little package of dog food, but that was customer A was the dog food. All the other thing from that cleaning aisle was an empty spray bottle. So I was especially shopping the customer A. I was getting frustrated. I was on the phone with my wife, and she had to kind of settle me down because I was getting kind of mad. Like for instance, they wanted a 8 pack of hamburger patties, and at first I only saw 4 packs. I'm like, man, come on! But I finally found them, and then like some kind of steak, and the wording on the packages of the steaks was not exactly matching up with what was on the app for DoorDash, and I just hate, like, you know. And then when I go to get the dryer sheets, it's like I don't know what brand, Gain dryer sheets. I don't remember. Bounce. I think it was Bounce. 120 count. Okay, I see the 120 count. I go to grab it, scan it. That's not it. It's the different scent or whatever. They have two different 120. I mean, come on. It's like dryer sheets here. And there really has to be two different kinds of dryer sheets in the 120 count. I mean, this stuff just kind of like I don't know if it's I don't know why I get so irritated fast on stuff like this. Maybe it's my old age combined with my bad health or whatever, but it's just oh, you know, and but hey, but after I got through the first several items, and then all the rest of the items start kind of like falling into place, and I have like an easier shop, like the second half of it, and no real problems with the checkout. And the deliveries were okay, even though customer A, they had the pack of water and the Pepsi, and it was going up to a second floor apartment. So I had all the sacks in my catering bag. And then, one trip was the water and pop up those stairs, and then the catering bag. And a signature required on that order for some reason. I don't really understand that. There's no alcohol or no restricted items. So I don't know. Maybe that's a customer they had problems with in the past. I'm not sure. And then the triple. So this was. So I trying to think here. I think I dropped off, yeah, because you only see 4 symbols here. So I had dropped off the first Meyer order, and then I get this. Or maybe not. No, because it says 3 customer stops. So I hadn't dropped off either of the Meyer orders yet. And I get this $8 hidden tip, 3 mile Bibby Bop. So let's do it. Um, and then so this was so I after accepting that, I believe I picked up the Bibby Bop. The order was ready. I just grabbed it and went deliver that. The hidden tip was 50 cents, so I got $8.50 for that. It took me up to $71. And then here's the breakdown on I guess this would be the second Meyer order, 325 from DoorDash, $9 tip. So, and now I'm at 83. Then I get, after that second triple, and the only one that I completed, of course, I get this $5 Taco Bell. Um, so I went ahead and took it. Um, and it went to an area where I had bad cell service, but I was still able to complete this, and this was an okay order. Um, or I'm sorry, no, I'm confusing the drop off with another drop off. This all took place on Stringtown. So the Taco Bell, and I'm sorry, I delivered this to Home Depot. Um, the customer met me at the front doors, which was nice. So easy drop off there. And then I've talked about this in previous videos. Then I sat there in my parking spot. It's 11:15, my busy hour, and I figured I'd sit there and see what the next couple orders were. And I've talked about this. I don't know why, but this particular area, if I get sometimes, like today, I get, and this has happened time and time again. I drop off an order in this area and then I get stuck there and bombarded with like crap orders. And I'm having to, like, and it happened today, and I'll show the declines here in a second. And I have to pause the dash and drive away from there in order to get something more reasonable. I don't get it. Why like three or four or five or six bad offers in a row? Like, why does that keep happening? I don't know. It's really, really weird. And it's not like over there I never get good orders, because I do. I get catering orders from City Barbecue. I've gotten catering orders from Piata street food over in that area. I've gotten lots of good Panera sometimes, really good orders. But I don't know. It just sometimes I just get it's like, bad karma, whatever you want to call it. I just get over that area and you can tell as soon as I get like two bad orders, I already know that if I leave the stupid app on and let this keep going, it's just going to be like 10 or 12 bad orders in a row. I already know. So the first one was this $6 8 mile Piata going up to the hilltop. No, no thanks. No, what, why would I take this at 11:30? Why? Why does that make any sense at all? Okay, 2 minutes later, this this is I don't know why I had such a hard time debating about this one. For whatever reason, I wanted to take it. Maybe because it'd get me like two more orders under my belt, going for an order count, I guess. And this wouldn't have been, this isn't hard. I mean, the those two those two pickups are the same parking lot, basically. That's the same little strip mall area, whatever you want to call it. It's the same. I could have parked my car in one place in the middle of those two and picked up both of those orders, and then just driven not even 4 miles. But it's just the fact that each one is only like $4. And is it really worth it to go into two restaurants, deliver to two customers, and $8? And it's 11:30. I should, in theory, get something better than this, but I didn't. Next up, Subway, 850, 5 miles. I saw in big, huge letters here, El Dorado, racetrack, the casino, which I didn't want to go to that area, but the casino is actually here on the far right off of 23. So this really isn't. wherever this is. See, I probably should have zoomed in on that. And this order probably wasn't going to be too bad. Um, I don't even see where am I at on this picture. I don't even know where I'm at. And the subway. Oh, this is the okay. That's probably the subway inside the Walmart. I picked up from there once before. But yeah, I should have zoomed in on that house to see exactly like what streets were around and where exactly that was, because it wasn't the casino. And there's a chance I might have taken this, but I just saw casino and the fact that this was south, so decline. And this is when I paused the dash to get, away from that area. Resume the dash, and I did one last order. Um, I went over to Meyer, I parked. There was something I wanted to get from Meyer, so I kind of thought, well, I'm only going to do two more declines. That's it. But this offer came across, and $7 4 miles, and it's going real close to home. So I was gonna have to come back to Meyer, but well, I mean, yeah, I told myself, well, you know what? Not the end of the world. Let's just go ahead and do this. I'll do because I just wanted to do one or two more orders. This one's acceptable. I'll do this. I'll pick this up. I just ride across the street from Chipotle. The order was ready. Pick it up. Um, Deliver here close to home, and then I figured I'd stop here, go to the bathroom, walk the dog, do all those kinds of things, and then do lunch and whatever else I was going to do. Um, so final numbers is I did 12 deliveries for 95.50, so just a few dollars under goal, but I was a few dollars over yesterday, so I'm right at my 200 bucks after 2 days for the week. Um, Total dash time 5:22. Active time 3 hours 56 minutes. So I was down for just, you might as well say, an hour and a half. So downtime was a little bit better today than yesterday. Only drove 70 miles, so I was 25 miles better than goal today. So that was the nice thing about today's dash. My acceptance rate took a hit. I entered today at 83 and finished with 77. But still good. I mean, I just have the 1 day left. Tomorrow's the last day of the month. I may I was kind of leaning towards doing a second dash tonight, maybe doing like a 6 to 8. And I'm probably just gonna, it's probably gonna be two or at the most three declines, and then that's all I'm gonna decline, and then shut that dash down tonight. I'm not gonna log in tonight for just an hour or two and have 5 or 10 declines in there. So it's like I said, two. I'm thinking two, three at the most. Um, but we'll see if I do. Like I said, I'm kind of leaning towards doing it, and if I have time, I'll shoot a second video on that dash. But anyway, that's it for this recap, and I'll shut this down. Got some other stuff to do here, but thanks for watching this video. Make sure to like the video. Um, Throw me some comments. Any comments at all? Questions, comments, anything? throw them down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out my past videos. And thanks again for watching. Until next time.